Hello everyone, so welcome to Your Education. I am Jitendra Tyagi and right now I am with Dr. Vishwa Pal, who is Assistant Professor in Department of Physics, IIT Roped. So sir, most welcome on Your Education platform. We are here to visit IIT Roped for academic profiling, and physics department has an important role because physics is the mother of all engineering branches. So we will discuss a lot of things with you, but in starting we want a brief introduction from your side, sir. How was your journey up to this point?
Okay. So yeah, thank you for visiting us and giving your time. So regarding my journey, how I actually exposed to the research. So I started let's begin with the bachelor program, then onwards how I proceeded. So the bachelor, the BSc in science I did from MJP Royal Candy University. So there was a government PG college from where I graduated in 2004. And afterwards, actually, I moved to another university, University of Lucknow, for masters in physics, and I completed in 2006. And after that, actually, for PhD, I moved to JNU, New Delhi, and then I started in 2007. I finished in 2013. So PhD, I worked on particularly laser physics field. It's a very interesting field because the lasers are having application in several areas. So it's one of the exciting field that I found. And I was motivated during my master because I had a specialization in the field of lasers and optics. So I was really self-motivated to do PhD in this field. So I joined for research in JNU under the supervision of Professor Rupa Manjari Ghosh. And so she actually did PhD from US, University of Rochester, and then joined JNU long ago, actually before my joining. So then I started actually PhD with her. And during PhD, I also actually visited France because I was working on an Indo-French collaborative project. So I spent almost like a year in France. So I again actually got exposed to a much bigger platform for the research, and I expanded my knowledge, skills, and personality, and by visiting several times there. So after finishing PhD in 2013, I got a postdoc opportunity from Israel, particularly from Weizmann Institute of Science. It's very close to Tel Aviv, and it's a highly reputed institute worldwide. And then I joined there in April 2013. Yeah. Then actually there it was a related similar area, but again like a much more interesting field. So particularly I worked on large array of lasers, making high power lasers as well as doing computing with lasers. And so I joined the group of Professor Ned Davidson and Nasser Friedman, who are very famous in this field. And then I continued this postdoc research for almost 5 years in Israel because the things were going very nice. We were doing like a fantastic research. So I decided to stay for a long time there. So after finishing into March 2018, I applied for another postdoc in US, particularly in College of Optics and Photonics in Florida. So there I joined as a research scientist. And during this transition from Israel to US, I applied for a position in India, particularly from IIT Roped. And then actually I gave this research seminar and interview, and they offered me the position. So staying for some time in US, then I returned back to India and I started this position at IIT Roped as an assistant professor in May 2018. After that, I am actually continuing here as a faculty. I have developed now my own research laboratory in the field of lasers, optics, and photonics. And currently in my group, I have 4 PhD students and some of the master students. Right now, I have also one intern from IIT Guwahati. She's doing BTech Engineering Physics, but she came here as an intern for 2 months.
So sir, it was very highly motivated journey, and you have exposure of different countries, France, USA, Israel. So it means you must be aware of all the technologies which are present in those countries.
Yeah.
So now, can we compare IIT Roped Physics Department with the physics department of Israel or France or USA? Are we trying to compare with those the facilities available there? Any reflection of those things here?
Okay. Yeah, it's really a good point, and a lot of debate is still going on these questions. So obviously, in Israel, we had this in this institution. It's highly reputed over the time. They have built very good research infrastructure, and we had like all kind of experimental facilities, very expensive, sophisticated instruments. And the idea from IIT is also like to offer the position such people who are acquiring the experience from abroad and build a similar kind of high quality research and laboratory, so that we can also actually create more skilled manpower and to contribute in the field of research, as well as to generate, for example, this kind of technologies. These are useful for the humanities, for the humans, where we are basically relying on several areas, whether it's a health sector or like a defense or communication or some other. So everywhere we require like a new technology. So we have to do the high quality research, and based on that we can build on. And so we definitely require the skilled manpower. We have to train the new students to compete for the modern technology. For example, I will come soon actually on this question as well. So definitely, actually, we are having like a good facilities in IITs. We are getting like a good amount of support from IITs as well as from the funding agency to build such kind of infrastructure, and then we can continue our good research. So indeed, IITs are one of the good platform to do that, and we are quite successful in that. But still, actually, it's a long way to go. Regarding the competition, of course, actually, in research we are competing globally. When we do the research, of course, we submit for publications, and the research goes to reviewing globally. So these the people, the experts, they review your research. If it really fits in the standard quality and everything, then only it gets published, otherwise not. So definitely we are competing with them. So the infrastructure definitely plays bigger role in terms of doing quality research. So in my opinion, yeah, we are doing good. We are actually, we even compare several places in terms of like globally, and this can be reflected if you visit like in terms of the publications. So we have like a good publication published in high quality journals, where you may find like a similar articles from other abroad laboratories, institutions. So yeah.
So, sir, nowadays, as we all know, we cannot ignore the importance of online education.
Yeah.
Along with offline education and having laboratories, online education has its own importance.
Yeah.
So, our government of India has initiated one platform that is known as NPTEL. So, according to you, how NPTEL is important for learning different subjects?
Yeah. So yeah, this is also a very good question, I would say, because nowadays it's a digital age. Everybody is basically looking for this online way of accessing the information. So this NPTEL particularly is an online learning platform. So many kids basically they do not basically get enrolled in a good institutions, but they also deserve for good knowledge. So these are the online platform where experts, very good teachers, they basically make available their lectures, and essentially it can be accessed by the people on different. So it's a very good platform, and online is really a supportive platform. Whenever and wherever you want to access, it is easy to access. You don't have to go a particular place. But so of course it has the advantages, but at the same time it also has a slight disadvantage, particularly in that sense, if the lecture is done in physical mode, where students are sitting, teacher is teaching on the blackboard. So here the interaction is face to face. so that your queries, your expressions, you can interact as much as possible. Your queries will be immediately sorted out. So you cannot replace such kind of interaction with an online platform.
Yes.
So both have their advantages, of course, and they have their own unique characteristics as well, I would say, and both have the very important role, I would say.
Okay, so sir, now you tell me, uh, so many students during the summer time or winter time, they want to go for internship with different industries. Okay, and now I have seen many students doing internship here also. So, do you take students under your guidance for summer internship for 2 months, 1 month, or more than that?
Yes. So yeah, this internship, it is now a part of the most of the courses. So yes, I am also actually, I have already taken these interns, and in IITs, particularly they are focusing on the interns. So our student go to other places in other IITs or laboratories, and we also actually invite from other places the candidates to come and work in our laboratories to get the exposure of different fields and to interact and expand their networks knowledge and expertise areas. So right now actually I have one intern student from IIT Guwahati. So this student is doing a BTech in engineering physics, and now actually so she is working on a particular research problem. She is very happy because she is expanding her knowledge and as well as getting some kind of exposure to do research and make her career in the field of research. And not only like me, if you actually visit this IIT, let's say portal or website, you may find like this intern are basically across all the departments. So maybe like hundreds or maybe 200, there are many. So usually what we do, we advertise these positions, and then accordingly these students, they look for the advertisement, then they submit their applications, and then they get selected, and then they join for the entrance.
Okay, so sir, now tell me, we have placements for engineering students like BTech in chemical, mechanical, electrical, electronics, all get placement. What about those who have background in physics?
Yeah.
Do they get jobs in industries?
Okay. Yeah. So this is also a very nice question regarding the placements. Of course, engineering fields, they have like a more industries everywhere, particularly in India. We do not have the same number of industries for the science field. Maybe in chemistry it is, but not in the physics. But as the culture has been changed, so mostly these companies have also started up coming in the field of science domains. So these R&D companies, they are now emerging in our country. So now the students have the opportunity, if they finish, let's say, a master in physics, so they can go in academia for sure, but then they have to cover a long journey. After finishing master, they have to go PhD and postdoc, then they come as a for the job in academic institutions. But right after finishing the master, they can go to DRDO. There are scientist positions immediately after master. They can also go to BRC, Bhabha Atomic Research Center. They also have the position for scientist B immediately after master. And then actually now there are so many science oriented companies. Earlier they were mostly selling these equipments which are being imported from other countries and to the other, but now actually slowly this R&D sections they have also started, because in India now this make in India has been pushed a lot. So they realize the potential of developing R&D kind of instruments. So slowly this is coming, but in future I am sure actually the science students will have more opportunities in industries in India. So
Great. So, sir, since you have stayed at different countries, so still are you in contact with different professors there?
Yeah, so definitely actually during my stay I had built a lot of collaborations. So I'm still actually doing collaborative work with them. So a few people from Israel, uh, So from Weizmann Institute of Science, it's one of the premier institutions in Israel. I have also collaborated from France, so not only one, several of them. And then I have collaboration from US, from University of Florida. Some more collaborations I am still actually exploring. Very recently, we are actually interested in filling bilateral projects. So people from New York, from Utah. So we are in conversation, in doing meetings to write the collaborative proposals. So indeed, this, for example, our country is also pushing a lot on collaboration aspects, particularly to bring this kind of the culture and the more exposure where our students can work with them. They can actually get information or knowledge how people are working worldwide, and then they can easily adopt the good things from those collaborations. So collaboration indeed plays a very important role, particularly I would say in the field of research, because in research you have to gather a lot of knowledge to do particularly the multidisciplinary research to so that a new knowledge can be generated, and accordingly new technologies can emerge which can be beneficial for the public or the society eventually.
So, my last question, sir, a little bit personal for you. In physics, we have Nobel Prize,
Yeah.
right? So, have you ever thought of that, getting Nobel Prize in physics?
Yeah, so the Nobel Prize, yeah, of course, it has been very long. It was given to C.V. Raman. It's a well-known phenomena, and it's well appreciated that we all know. But of course, like people definitely doing like excellent research, and they're really aiming for good award, good recognition globally. And yeah, I think actually people are really doing effort to be recognized and doing like a wonderful science and research to something like a Nobel. And the people who are basically involved in research, and of course this is a dream for them, and this is definitely, we have to dream, and then only you can be motivated to achieve something. So we are definitely actually are motivated to do good science and good research, so that it can be beneficial for our society, for public.
Yeah. So it was very informative session, sir, and really you motivated me also, and it will motivate all other students because your journey is very beautiful. You have exposure of different countries that makes you a strong person in this science field, especially in physics. So
Yeah, so thank you very much. Actually, I'm really glad to share my journey, and I would be really glad if I can inspire some people. And it's really wonderful journey. I can actually feel the transformation from very beginning what I am now. I can compare the people actually who really left behind. You could not afford this kind of long journey, but indeed, it's a wonderful journey, and it's a great experience, great learning. So now I became like a learner, lifelong learner. I am still learning a lot of new things, and I really love to do new things because it brings more excitement in your life to do something new.
yes,
Yeah. So thank you very much for visiting and giving your time.